Jeff, Arizona Hot Homestead. Today's video is on that shed that I've been building for a while, that garden shed, that 10 by 12. You've seen the floor, the foundation, and this is the third in the series, the walls. So let's just take a look at what I did here. And by the way, forget the give me on the wind, because it's gusting up to 30. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Now when I did these, I have never worked with correlated sheets of metal before, so I had no clue on what I was doing. So I started with the back side first, and then I went to each side. These markings, let me explain to you why I did those. When I was first putting this up back here, it dawned on me, I had no idea as I put these sheets up, I had no idea where those cross pieces were. I had no clue. I couldn't guess. So those markings, I finally got smart. As I put them up, I would mark the sheet. This being a 2x4 going up, and this being the one that goes across. That one goes off that way. This one comes over here. This way I could make sure I'm hitting it, and I'm making sure I'm hitting the sides. Made a huge difference. Just absolutely huge difference when I started marking it, because what I would end up doing was, see, I missed there. Look at that one. Oh, where the heck that one went? I'm not even like a foot close. That happened a lot. Even happened right there. When I got smart and started marking it, it made a big difference. I still would miss every now and then, but that would just be because of a mental error. When I did lay these down, right here is the end. So the end to this one is right about here. So they're only crossed this far. I put them all the way down to the base, as far down as I could go without digging too deep and all that. Main reason, I'm going to layer with rock along the base. That'll help keep critters from making a home underneath. So on these screws, these are not self-tapping. They're about 1.5 inches long. When putting these in, because they're not self-tapping on this metal, if your pressure and angle with your impact driver isn't just right, then you're going to keep dropping them. They're just going to keep popping off. But man, if your angle is on, your pressure is on, they go in so smooth and easy. And once they grip onto the wood, they pull it nice and tight. But sometimes your angle wasn't just right because you're on a ladder trying to get some of these tall ones. And in that process of trying to get the screw in, your angle's off, kept popping off, and then you have to re-angle yourself and apply the right kind of pressure. And then finally it would go through. Once it went through this metal, man, it bit in that wood and it just grabbed it and pulled it right together. It was beautiful. I screwed the base down there into the 2x6s. These corners aren't perfect because, like I said, I don't know exactly what I'm doing with these corners. This I'll just bend around, I think. Here you can see this right here. This guy right here, that is a corner piece. It's about 4 or 5 inches on each corner. But I put that on the corners so that if it did leak on my corners, I had this protection. I'm going to come back in and I am going to fill this gap here with probably just some of that expansion foam. And down below, I don't know if you can see it, but down below, obviously it goes through. They have stuff that you can put in there to help block that, but I think I'm just going to use some expansion foam through there as well. This is just a shed, so even if stuff got in, it's not that bad. Oh, notice here, 3 layers. There should only be 2. But get this, when I did these walls, they didn't overlap. For some reason, I didn't notice that the reason why you have 2 layers up here is so that they overlap each other, and that strengthens it. Well, I didn't overlap it. Why, I have no clue. I guess I wasn't thinking. So the top one overlapped, and I ended up with a little gap there for some reason. Like I said, I am no carpenter at all. Now when I built this in here, again, I knew that I wanted this side to be 1 foot higher than the other side. And this is 10 feet across. Why I chose a foot? Just because a foot sounded good. I have no idea what this angle is. Whatever 10 feet and 1 foot is. After I put this up, my thought was, what's to keep that from falling off? It's just gonna come right off. I use these brackets to kind of help hold it all in place. I have no idea if they're going to work or not, From what I understand, this is called a cripple wall, and I don't know if this is supposed to be done this way, but I added it to the side. I don't know. I guess I'll find out. So on the ends, I put these pieces here. If you notice on the end here, it only has 2 layers. So that third layer I stopped so that I could brace it up like say. By doing this, I'm hoping that will hold this. This is braced with this top layer 2x4, then I put this bracket there. And then I also have a L bracket there. Did the same thing to the other side. So this is my doorway. It's a 4-foot doorway. This door frame, again, I have never built a door frame before in my life, and it actually came out all right. I'm impressed. You know, you got this piece here with this header here, then you got this one with this double header here, and in the middle is a 1/2-inch piece of plywood, which just happens to make it a perfect fit, because these are 1.5 inch, this is 3.5 inches. So if you put these side by side, you're missing a 1/2 inch. So you put that piece of plywood in between, and it makes it exactly 3.5 inches, and it ends up being absolutely perfect. I never knew that. I just saw people doing it, and so I did it, and I'm like, wow, I think that's why they do it. I have to put a brace right here. I just haven't done it yet. So I think that's about it on the wall. The next segment is going to be the roof, obviously. Now I didn't finish this because on my roofing, the way the roof is going to go, and this final piece up there, this final piece is actually going to tuck up inside, and I'm going to cut it through there so that it will slide underneath and overlap this guy, I don't know, maybe a foot or whatever. I'm going to try to keep these two open for windows. Because of the door and all that, I decided I better just leave this like it is until I got the roof done and I start putting this piece across here, and then I can see how this is all going to fit. Because I don't want to screw it all together and then find out that I screwed something up. So I figure I'll just hold off on this for now. So what I'll do on this end here is I'll have some more of this metal, and I'm going to bring it right up to the roof edge. It's going to come straight down. There's going to be no overhang here, and I'm going to have no board going across there. I'll just have a 6-inch drip ledge there. Any questions on what I did? Did you like? Did you subscribe? Did you comment? This is the first time I've worked with this sheet metal. It turned out actually really well. Let me show you the screws real quick. This is obviously the same tool I used on that RV carport I used on this. The screw in was because I did screw some of the 2x4s together. This here, there's 2 sizes. This is the one I used for most of it, and these guys worked absolutely perfect. Yeah, they're 1.5 inches. These worked out so much better because they seem to dig into the wood better and just pull everything together.